folks, welcome to the stream. Today's episode is filmed in front of a live studio audience. Hey. Brought to you by viewers like you. Thank you very much. All right. Anyway, hi, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. I've been trying to do more streams since I took a break for a few days. And you may notice in my thumbnail, I made it look like I was all like fucked up and shit, but if you look close, it was a LaCroix that I was holding. Satan, hey, can you bring it here? Come on. We can't have that right now. Come on. Satan's drug is this snake toy that I got her. Satan, drop it. Hey, drop it. She's addicted. It's rough. It's rough. I'm gonna put this over here. Yeah. She's Satan is a crackhead for snake toy. So anyway, so one thing that you may have noticed is ubiquitous on my channel is drug use, and I've never really actually seriously talked about it. When I go live with my friends, especially my crust punk friends, I tell them, you can be on my live stream, just don't smoke crack on camera, please, and don't kick your dog. And they're like, okay, understood. So, don't kick your dog anyway, but, just as a general rule to keep things a little bit more family friendly. Let's see. Aaron says, I can only see mod comments. Polyscaret1 says, hi, Corn from Australia. Hey, what's up? Oh. So I'm toasting up a little piece of glass here. Oh, geez. That looks pretty bad, doesn't it? Wow. What's Corn gonna do? We're gonna smoke something bad? So I got this fun fact. My uncle accidentally legalized this in Minnesota. Fun fact. I think I talked about it before, but Delta 8 and 9 and 10 and THCO are now legal in Minnesota because of a royal fuck up by my uncle. Good stuff. So yeah, this is totally legal. Dom the Bomb says, evening from England. Hey, how's it going?
Talk quietly because Corn's doing her live stream presentation.
My studio audience is receiving a phone call.
So
Do you want to say hi?
Hold on. Hello, folks. We're sitting in the backyard at the Hobo House of Worship in Minneapolis, Minnesota. I'm Minneapolis Jewel, 5-time Queen of the Hobos, and I just am a live audience besides the current Hobo King, Iwegian.
I'm weeding. I'm picking grapes.
He's picking grapes from my 30-year-old grapevine. I've been making grape juice.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, so I probably still got purple still on my hand, my arms.
Do you ever turn it into booze?
No, I haven't, because my husband quit drinking alcohol the last 12 years of his life.
Oh, wow.
So out of respect, I just made grape juice and grape jam. Of course, he's deceased now, but the grape juice is just as healthy and good enough. So I have a bumper crop. I have a 30-year-old vine that I put here. I've been living here across from the railroad tracks. You can probably see or hear the engine of BFSN is right behind us there.
Oh, been sitting there for a minute.
Yep. So I bought my house 37 years ago so I could be by the railroad tracks, of course. And then I put in the grapevine myself, everything that's in the yard. This used to be an old brick factory. And prior to that, the property was owned by the railroad. So there was just dirt here. And I can see there's trees, a pine tree, lilacs, and my beloved grapevines that Iwegian Rick is diligently picking away.
Mm-hmm.
So I cook them up and
It's a real one in this stuff.
show them, lift up a good one, Rick.
They're gonna be.
No, Rick, lift up a good vine. Remember how you picked up that good vine the other day?
Yeah.
And you had a string of them? Yeah, look down there and see if you can find a good string to show the people.
A divine vine.
A divine vine, yes. There you go. That sounds like a Jeopardy answer.
Uh-huh.
Oh, look at that. Oh, show them the beautiful grapes. Those are all Concord grapes, and they're all natural, no spray, no poison. and I cook them in a pan of water, and then I put them through a press, and we get fresh grape juice. So there's no sugar added. I'll let you go see the trains, and I'm gonna get back to my friend if she hasn't hung up on me yet.
Okay.
Are you there, Deb?
Good.
Okay.
All right. So
Oh, okay. Did you hear me?
I'm gonna find
Okay, so she's
a spot over here. Ooh. Okay. So, as I was saying, a lot of you may already be pretty aware of the subversive nature of my channel and the fact that, well, especially in my earlier streams, there was a lot of drug use. And let me just set this up here. Not that there isn't now, but I guess I've never really talked seriously about my personal philosophy on substance use and abuse and my own recovery, or I guess one could argue semi-recovery from alcoholism. Speaking of which, I have a delightful cucumber habanero. What the fuck? Cucumber habanero cider here. 1 pint. Nice. Yeah, I'm gonna crack that open. So let's see. It's such a big subject. That's kind of why I started off with like an intro to my philosophy on drugs, because there is so much to address. And oh, and you may also notice that the sound quality on my stream today is probably a lot lesser than previous the last few streams, because my fucking mic got destroyed. I can't have nice things apparently, so I'm gonna have to get a new mic. Cheers. Yeah. That's a big subject. I don't know where to start. And as usual, I don't have bullet points in front of me or an actual plan. I'm just gonna freeball it like I do. I guess to get certain things out of the way, there's a lot of drugs that are legal and a lot of substances that people consume every day that they don't really think of as drugs. Like, well, in a couple of weeks, I'm going to be working in an industrial yard processing America's favorite drug. Guess what America's favorite drug is? If you do know, just hold off and let other people guess. What is America's favorite drug? What would you guess? I might be wrong, like statistic wise, but I don't think so. Hold on, I'm gonna grab my tobacco and my legal weed. We'll be right back. All right, anybody guess it? Let's see. No? Nobody's guessing? Why is the chat so, like, dead? It was last time, too. Is that just because y'all aren't talking, or what's going on? Or is there a glitch on YouTube? Sometimes that happens. YouTube has glitches, and they don't fix them for a long time. Well, anyway, I think the most consumed, like, substance in the U.S. would be sugar, which, I mean, I don't know the technicality of it, but, like, in my understanding, a drug is something that affects a person's brain chemistry and can be habit forming. Yeah, something that alters your state of consciousness in some way. And believe it or not, a lot of things that you consume every day and think nothing of are not psychoactive. That's like trippy drugs. You know, they're mind-altering substances like caffeine, sugar, even like carbs give your brain a reaction, makes happy chemicals release. And tobacco, of course, lots of people consume lots of tobacco daily. Alcohol is absolutely a drug. A lot of people don't think of it that way because, it's legal and it's served in, bars across the world, no problem. Nobody's particularly worried about it. You could be obviously physically addicted to alcohol and like in a really bad way, and you can go into any bar and they'll still serve you unless you're like, unless you're a real mess. Captain Grimm is texting me and says chat's fine. I just can't see it for some reason. That sucks. Okay, so I guess YouTube is having kind of a glitch, and I'm sorry that I can't see your folks' responses to my stream. Oh well. Yeah, YouTube, get your shit together. Are you kidding me? So for the longest time, YouTube was fucking up in a way where I couldn't, where it was really hard to set up live streams too, and there was really like nothing that I could do about it. But anyway, I digress. YouTube, you son of a bitch. You're ruining me. I'm gonna smoke this nice spliff and calm the fuck down. Drink this fucking caffeine here. Ooh, that's good. This was honestly like the most expensive coffee I think I've ever bought. And I'm kind of upset about it. But it is what it is. I need a little caffeine before this talk. I guess if I was gonna get like, I'm trying to keep my my opinions and like the way that I want to talk about substances in a way that won't get me demonetized on YouTube, because it is such a touchy subject, because a lot of substances are criminalized, and just even mentioning them in front of other people can cause people to get very uncomfortable, or for my channel to get in trouble or something, even though shit, how many drugs have I done on stream? Holy shit. There was actually one episode where I was on acid. That was on bicycle day, but I got through the entire stream without outing myself, so I was kind of proud of that. That was really hard, actually. Currently, I'm under the influence of caffeine, nicotine. I literally just cracked this open, so I wouldn't say I'm under the influence of alcohol yet. And I don't really plan to be. Last time I was here, I had a little bit of a whiskey relapse on live, which, you know what? I don't really regret it, and I didn't beat myself up over it or anything. Like, it is what it is, and shit, yeah. HoboCon was it was a time. There was many drugs. Let's see. I did like mushrooms and acid and cocaine and Suboxone and drank a lot of whiskey. So that was good. I think that's it. Well, besides weed, I guess a lot of people don't really count weed as like a real drug, but it is. You know it is. If you're a career pothead and you need to smoke all day every day, guess what? That's habitual substance use. Sorry to bust your bubble if you're trying to think otherwise. A lot of people do. They're like, oh no, I'm sober. I'm Cali sober. Like, okay, cool. Me too, I guess. Whatever that means. Or NOLA sober, which means you don't do anything except for sniff tons of ketamine and coke. which is another story altogether. Uh, I know I've talked about like bad drugs in the past, like crack and heroin and meth and stuff, which obviously those are dangerous and have ruined people's lives. But shit, booze does too. I don't think that any drugs are inherently bad. They're just chemicals that exist. It's what we as individuals and humans do with the substances that makes for a bad situation. Now, I'm not saying that you should go out and smoke some meth because you can definitely do without that. But I am saying that in theory, I don't know about you personally, you could without it being like a lifetime commitment. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that a lot of the ways that society has an attitude around drugs actually fosters addictive behavior, because it's like, oh, I just like smoked crack with this home bum. I must be a crackhead now. Everything that I've learned indicates to me that suddenly I'm going to be wanting more and more and more. But I don't know. The education system has failed all of us, and definitely not advocating for going out and doing hard drugs. Not advocating for that. But if you already do them, you're not a bad person for doing them. And whatever it is that you are into, like what you do with your addiction or recreational use or whatever, is on you. You can't blame your substance use for your own shitty behavior. And if you find yourself behaving like a shithead, then you need to reevaluate yourself, first and foremost. And I know NA and AA and whatever is all like God-based and you need like a higher power or whatever, and I think that sucks because it strips the individual of their own personal autonomy and power of the substances that they choose to put in their bodies. And there's, of course, the debate of whether addiction is a disease or a choice. And I think the predisposition to addiction is, in fact, I don't know if I even want to say disease. I think it is what I said, like a predisposition towards certain chemical addiction and the way that your brain chemistry reacts to those substances. But there is an element of choice. I'm not saying that like some people will try acid one time and completely lose their goddamn minds. Have you ever seen that? Anybody that does LSD has, at least in more amounts than like once or twice, if you've tripped balls with people, you probably have an experience or a story where one person could not hang and it just like ruined them. And sometimes that is how it is. Sometimes it just takes one time and your brain chemistry is all fucked and you're never the same again. And that's obviously not a choice. Like, how would you know that? Brains are very complicated things. But what you do with yourself and with your reaction to substances, that's on you. That is a choice. So I think it's a little bit of a reduction to talk about substance abuse as though it's either a disease or a choice, because it could be a little bit of both. It could be either, or, you know, something completely different. The trick is to not strip yourself of autonomy when it comes to your interaction with substance use. Now, for me personally, I have struggled with alcoholism in the past, as anybody who's been watching my channel for a few years knows. And for a very long time, I was a hard liquor drinker, like day in, day out. Wake up, drink, go to bed, fucking wasted. And I still got shit done. I got a lot of shit done. Satan's eating a pine cone right now. And, you know, I never, like, hurt anybody doing that. I never stole from anybody over that sort of thing. I'm sure I've said a lot of dumb shit to people, but, like, you know, that's everybody says dumb shit to people, and I've apologized to people that I may have put in awkward situations or whatever. Mostly I just hurt myself though, and my own use came from a place of like self-hate and self-disgust. So with that attitude, I was like, I wasn't doing drugs and drinking to have fun. I was doing it because I wanted to escape myself. And anybody that's struggled with addiction knows that doesn't fucking work, because you have to wake up again and you're still there until you're not. But fortunately, I'm still here, and yeah. But yeah, you can't escape yourself. So instead of like, I could have gone to AA and like done the 12 steps and prayed the prayer and whatever the fuck and dedicated my life to a higher power. But that was not my path and isn't my path. I fully detoxed a couple of times, had a few relapses, and now at this point, I can enjoy a few sips of a beverage and it's cool. And, because I've got enough distance from it. My little sister actually, who was on stream a few streams ago, I don't want to blast her or anything or put her on the spot, but she was in AA for a few years. I actually went to a few meetings with her and met some really great people. It was a good scene. It was nice. And she's religious, so that worked well for her because she already believes in a higher power, and that's wonderful. But now, like, after a few years of that, she's gone back to just like being able to go out with the girls on a Saturday night and knock back a few and dance and have fun and still be on top of her shit. So I think that's really cool. Like, life isn't all black and white, and if you think like that, you're kind of just pigeonholing yourself and not really addressing the real issues of what drives you to do the things that you do. I really wish I could see chat. That sucks. YouTube, why? I'm sure you're all saying some very interesting things, but I'm just going to leave it to the mods to keep the house tidy and talk to you guys. This is a feedback-free live stream, I guess, which isn't exactly what I wanted to do. But I see there's 93 people in chat right now. 36 thumbs up if you'd like to hit that thumbs up. And if you're into subversive counterculture talks in oftentimes hobo environments, make sure you hit the subscribe button, the like button. I did put out a recent edited video of a freight train ride that I took from New Orleans. And if you can hear what's going on behind me, I'm pretty close to the rail yard, and I am planning on doing another ride in a few days. So if you're into trains, then also hit the subscribe button, because yeah, I'll be making a video pretty soon here. All right, we got 100 people in chat. I want to see those thumbs up. Thanks, folks. There's also links in the description if you would like to get down with the kickdown. There's my Venmo, my PayPal links. I'm due for YouTube to pay me pretty soon, so that's nice. So if anybody is kicking down through Super Chat and I can't see it, I'm sorry, and thank you very much. What a drag. I was really looking forward to talking to you folks. The last thing I see is some of my mods saying stuff like fucking 10 minutes, 15 minutes ago. Damn. Longer than that. Okay. So anyway, I've definitely mentioned a few illicit substances and have done quite a few in the last month. I'll be honest. But as far as YouTube policy goes, none of that is true. I'm an entertainer. This is all fake. It was a green screen. Those weren't real hobos that I was talking to, and I don't ride trains. So cheers to that. I'm actually in a warehouse in Burbank. And yeah, fucking A. One thing that I notice a lot in a lot of counterculture scenes that I'm part of is that people are very accepting of other people's drug use to the point where like some people will like actually be struggling, and it'll be like struggling with drugs that are typically associated as being fun drugs, like party drugs, like, you know, mushrooms and acid and like trippy fun stuff. But like some people I see using those things every day, and like needing to have them to be like to feel normal, or it gets to a point where they're just not reliable anymore as friends because they're always fucked up, and you know, like that doesn't make people bad. Nothing like, yeah, unless you're robbing people or like being violent toward people, there's nothing wrong with that inherently. It just like, I guess when you're like blowing off your friends or saying that you're gonna do stuff, but then you forget because you're fucked up all the time, then that I would consider that a problem. But you know, we all have problems, and that's not to diminish the fact that drug abuse is a very real problem, and there are people right now who are on their deathbeds because of it. I was having a conversation with a friend the other day whose friends had expressed concern for them while they were partying at like an anime convention, and these folks were like, hey, we're concerned about your behavior because you're like visibly fucked up. Oh, thank you, appreciate you. That's weej, thanks man. And they approached them like as friends, wanting to I don't know, protect this person, because the way that it looked to them was that this person, you know, was maybe putting themselves in dangerous situations in this party scenario. And this person found that to be kind of offensive. Like, you know, at no point did they express that they were struggling or unhappy. And at no point did they feel like they were not in control of their situation. They were hanging out with people and not just like going out alone, or like hanging out with weirdos in their motel rooms or something like that. And then we got to talking about like, I guess, yeah, when it comes from friends, when you do have concerns about somebody's drug use or behavior, approaching them from a place of concern is a little different than approaching them from a place of judgment. And I think that's important because when you approach people from a place of judgment, then it kind of makes them shut down and they don't really want to hear it. When it comes to reaching people that may be in a bad way, the last thing you want to do is make them feel like you hate them or are judging them for where they're coming from, because people that get into that headspace in that situation, you know, there's a lot more going on than just what you see on the outside. There's a lot of stuff going on inside, and like I said, for me, I was trying to escape that and just like numb myself to reality because I felt that it was too difficult to look at and approach at that time, which, you know, it was. And after a certain point, I got to a place within myself where it wasn't too much to handle. I was able to like approach these deep issues that I had carried for so long, and actually assess them and assess what it was within myself that drove me to behave in the way that I behaved. And at no point did anybody, well, you know what? That's not true. I did have a few people try to like, oh, that's a whole different topic. But I was gaslit by some people that I thought cared about me, but in actuality, they were trying to. It's a tough topic. Anyway, I thought that some people were my friends, but they ended up just gaslighting me for being an alcoholic instead of coming from a place of concern. Damn, we're at 30 minutes of stream and I still can't see people's fucking chats. That sucks. What a drag. Yeah, I don't really know what to do about that, folks. If you do want to leave a comment, I'll see your comments afterward. If you'd like to talk about your own personal experiences with drug use and abuse, feel free to leave a comment or your opinions, or maybe you think I'm full of shit, and you can also leave a comment about that if you'd like to. But yeah, I guess in the meantime, enjoy talking to each other because I can't see what you're saying. Fuck. Satan, what do you got to say? Huh? You got a pine cone? Whoa. Whoa. Get your pine cone. Yeah. All right, fuck off now, please. Thank you. Bye-bye. Can't blame her for trying. She's always going to try to get play time in, play fetch. Let's see. Yeah, so since I've been back in Minnesota, I've been going to a lot of smoke shops and just seeing what they have in the smoke shops that's like legal. And geez, if you know what you're looking at, they got like, it's kind of a heyday for drugstores, I gotta say. They've got like all sorts of kratom and kratom extract, and I mean, you can buy whippets at like most smoke shops, which is, you know, nitrous. I was sitting out on the street in New Orleans, and I had scored some whippets, and I had like the metal cracker thing. So basically, they're in these little canisters, right? And it's compressed nitrous. Nitrous is the stuff that they give you at the dentist when you know, they put the little nose on you, and it's laughing gas. So you can buy that because they're meant as whipped cream chargers. You put them in your like whipped cream thing with the heavy cream, and then you squirt out whipped cream. But so they sell them as that. But anyway, so I was sitting on the street. I had my cracker, and I was filling a balloon, and there was a train in front of the road. So like all these cars are backed up. There was these rednecks clearly out of town, and they were like just watching me the whole time, just staring at me while I was sitting on this stoop. And I was like, okay, they're probably, I mean, I was being like low key about it. I wasn't like being like super open about it, but like, you know, I'm like, they're either looking at me because they want some of my nitrous, or they're looking at me because I'm a fucking queer, and or maybe both. I don't know. So I like kind of, you know, nodded. I was like, "What's up, dude?" And the guy's like, "What you doing in that? What'd you put in that balloon there?" And I'm like, "Well, it's nitrous, buddy. You can buy them, you know, buy them off a shelf in a store, like a smoke shop or sex shop or something." And he was like, "What is that?" And I told him what I told you about, you know, it's laughing gas, like at the dentist. And he was like, "Oh, neat, like cool." It was funny. But yeah, it's sometimes things look really sketchy if you don't know what they are, and I totally get that. Like when dabs first came out, I'd be doing dabs in front of people, and they would see and be like, "Oh God, what are you doing? Like smoking crack? What are you smoking, meth or something?" I was like, "No, dude, it's not as bad as it looks. It's just concentrated THC. It's weed, essentially." I had to explain that to an old timer in Alaska a few years ago, and she was really relieved to learn that her son wasn't doing hard drugs. So that's nice. But yeah, so usually dabs are just straight up THC. You know, it's the trichomes off the weed, and then you concentrate it into like a wax or something. There's a number of ways to do it, and you can even concentrate it further from that into like actual crystals. And yeah, that definitely looks like hard drugs for sure. I think I smoked some straight up diamonds on stream once. I think. Anyway, yeah, so it looks bad, but the first few times I did it in front of friends, like one of my friends was a meth addict for a long time, and every time I would like light up the torch, you know, she would get like kind of triggered and like fucking I definitely don't blame her for being uncomfortable with that, and I didn't realize it at first because she didn't say anything, but yeah, but when I did, I was like, yo, yeah, of course that sucks. Like some things that you might think are totally cool are actually really triggering to people too. People with dependency issues. And obviously some drugs are more habit forming than others. One sec. So one of the worst addictions I've witnessed personally that isn't like that's like a perfectly legal, mundane, not illicit substance is weirdly enough Diet Coke. Now, does anybody know a Diet Coke addict? I know I can't see the chat, but this has to be like not an uncommon thing, because growing up, my mom, I think she still is addicted to Diet Coke, but like or Diet Pepsi rather, but like something about specifically Diet Coke, I guess, like I think maybe one of the fake sweeteners in it, maybe it's aspartame, or I don't know, I'm not a fucking scientist, but like it's really addictive. One of my best friends is also a Diet Coke addict. She's tried quitting many, many times. It's even caused like health problems for both her and my mom, and they, you know, they just keep doing it. It's yeah. Okay, we got some kickdowns here. Let's see. Captain Grimm says that Wandering with Kelly kicked it down in chat. Thank you so much. Amy Sorry kicked it down, and Kelly Mims. Hell yeah. Thank you folks so much. That's awesome. Fuck yeah. I'm actually supposed to go to a barbecue later tonight, so that'll be helpful for getting a few things to eat, and also to get a new microphone so y'all can hear me a little bit better. And yeah, like I said, my YouTube money will be rolling through any day now, so then I can get a few upgrades and hopefully put on a few good shows before I get to the beet harvest, where, yeah, like I was saying earlier in stream, it's so trippy to be working in the beet yard because it's just like piles and piles and piles of sugar beets, and that's where most of the sugar in most of the processed products in the US come from. It's just like this straight up beet sugar, and once you work in a yard like that, like you can smell it in all the candies and stuff and all the processed foods. It's crazy, and sugar is so addictive. I think Americans consume more sugar than like any country too. So that's why I call it America's favorite drug. I don't know, that might be subject to disagreement. Anyway, I'm gonna take another hit of this crack looking stuff. Delta 10 Forbidden Fruit. Bought this at the same tobacco store that I bought this at. Don't fear the legal dabs. Thanks, Uncle Jim. Appreciate you. Now, if this is triggering anybody, I'm sorry, but it's literally just like Delta 10. I wish that I had a better dab rig, but I don't. I just have this dropper. It's like a herbal remedy dropper, courtesy of Kieran. It's kind of hard to get a good rip with this, though. It's better to do it with metal, but I didn't want to go out and just like spend money on that because there's not really any point to it. Oh yeah, I didn't even fucking. I mean, I tasted it, but whatever. It's fine. Almost looks like I'm smoking a broken bubble. Ugh. Oh, there we go. Hey, nice. Nice. Yup. Honestly, so I was kind of touching on like legal drugs that you can get in smoke shops fucking anywhere all across the US. And like they're coming out with more and more different types of kratom. There's, you can get the capsules, you can get the powder, you can get the extract. And I had a little bit of kratom extract last night, and it made like my whole mouth numb. It was fucking awesome. And then I just, got kind of chilled out. So in the past, I've been more of the kind of person that prefers like downers, like booze and opiates and stuff like that, and whatever. But like since I quit drinking hard liquor, I mean, obviously I'm, whatever. I'm not drinking every day either though. But since I quit drinking liquor, it's weird. My tastes have shifted. I'm more into like uppers now. Like I've been drinking a lot more caffeine, and I've been buying these like fake Adderalls that you can get at smoke shops. And do I have something in my teeth? No, that's just my regular teeth. Okay. The person, actually I bought these at a gas station. So it's like these fake herbal Adderalls, and the person that was working the register where I bought them was like, "Oh, they work like the real thing." And I'm looking at her, and you can tell somebody that really likes speed. You know what I'm talking about. She was a person that like obviously prefers like speedy kind of drugs. Satan, stop it. And she was like, "Oh yeah, those things work. Just be careful. I don't know what kind of tolerance you have. Don't take two at once." And I was like, "Okay, all right." I think I actually do have like pretty bad ADHD. So like actual Adderall makes me like focused. Satan, shut up. And like actually want to go to sleep on time, which is super weird. Like last time I got my hands on some Adderall, I was just like, I got all my stuff done and then went to bed at a reasonable time. It was the weirdest shit. I was trying to get all hyped, but it didn't pan out for me. Maybe I should probably get an Adderall prescription. And my friend had some Ritalin, and I was on all sorts of ADD drugs when I was a little kid. So yeah, Ritalin. I don't think that the Ritalin actually did shit for me at all. Maybe made me more focused. I don't know. Weird. But yeah, so that's prescription medication, of course, it's legal, but only if a doctor says that you can have it. But I don't know. If you have a good doctor, probably you should listen to them. But a lot of times, like in my experience, I do not trust doctors. I've been mistreated by so many, and yeah, like I don't think that they're always right. So also I'm an anarchist, so it's like I think if you've looked into the chemistry of the substance that you're using and actually have done like adequate learning about it. I don't want to say research because that sounds a little bit pretentious for that. But like if you know what you're getting into and you understand at least somewhat what the drug is that you're using and its effects on your brain, then I don't see why you don't have the right to use whatever the fuck you want to use. That's just my personal opinion. I don't know. Yeah. Go on Arrowwood.com or org maybe. That's what I used to do when I was first getting into drugs as a young teen. I actually did go online and search other people's experiences. I searched the chemical makeup of different things that I wanted to try and understand like how it affects the brain, why it does what it does, what are associated risks with the substance that you're taking, what withdrawal feels like. Because if you're gonna do drugs, you also need to be prepared to go through withdrawal. That's part of the whole experience. Otherwise, if you only want the good parts of doing drugs without the come down, that's you're just going to be an addict. Like then the moment you take that drug and then the moment you feel discomfort at the withdrawal of that drug, then you're going to be seeking it out again. Like you need to accept the full spectrum of your experience in order to do drugs properly. And yeah, unfortunately, a high comes with a crash, we all know. So if you can't handle the crash, don't seek the high. Simple as that. Right? I feel like it bears repeating. If you can't handle the crash, don't seek the high. That's what causes addiction. It's averseness to discomfort. But you can only stave off your discomfort for so long before it becomes a bigger, more ethereal deal that you have to do more work to unpack. Life is discomfort. If you can't accept it, then you're not living in reality. Ew. Yeah, I should have got a dab rig. This is trashy as fuck. Damn it. It does look like I'm smoking crack for sure. Which I have done and probably will do again. So I was watching this documentary by a NASA scientist, or about a NASA scientist. I forget what his name was. But he was like hardcore addicted to crack, like a $300+ a day habit, which he could afford because he was a fucking NASA scientist. And he was like totally aware of it too, like, and not embarrassed to talk about it in a really forward and honest way, which I thought was super cool. Unfortunately, he died not too long after the documentary was made. He died. I don't know exactly what the conditions were, but it was definitely related to his crack addiction. Yeah, it's a very addictive drug. There's a reason for it, but you know, everything in moderation, folks. And also, it's important to be aware of other people's triggers when you are talking about illicit substances, and you know, just be sensitive to other people's struggles and journey. But like I said earlier, your drug use inherently doesn't make you a bad person. It's what you choose to do with your own personal problems. When you make your problems other people's problems, that's where you're fucking up. This is a weird ass cider. I don't know how I feel about this. I don't know if I can drink this all before the end of the stream. Used to be I'd polish off at least three fucking beers or seltzers or something, like, or an entire bottle of wine during a stream. I can't do that anymore, which is great. every day that I get through that I don't feel like I need to drink is, I don't know, it sounds cheesy, like a blessing, I guess. That's a word for it. It feels like it's something that I'm grateful for, because it's a lot of work to maintain a substance abuse problem, and it's expensive as fuck, and it's hard on your body, and it's hard on your relationships. And yeah, so I'm really glad to not be in that position. And I would like to do more talks in the future about more specific aspects of drug culture. I kind of just wanted to do like an overview sort of thing today. Just like, you know, just have a fucking chat, as one does with their friends in the backyard of the hobo house. I wish that you could see the trains over my shoulder, though. Let's see. Yeah, it's just bright. Oh well. You can see the birds and the leaves and the trees, though. It's pretty nice. It's very nice. You know what else is nice? Waking up without the shakes. That's pretty nice. I like that. And I'm looking forward to keeping it that way. Look at them birds. Yeah, let's go take a look at the trains. It's really nice hanging out over here because you can just watch the traffic throughout the day. This one's been idling here since I got here, letting all the other ones pass, and now that one on the other side is like parked on the main. So last live stream, Amos and I talked a bit about the potential rail strike, but they were able to avert the rail strike, which was supposed to start this morning after 20 hours of consecutive talks and negotiations. So today what I've been seeing is most of the train cars that have been passing and been given priority are the refrigerated cars, which if you have been paying attention over the last few days, the rail yards and railroad companies have been moving hazardous material and refrigerated freight to safe places so that if and when the strike did occur, that they wouldn't be stuck in the middle of nowhere unguarded. You know, can you imagine having a whole bunch of like corrosive chemicals in rail cars sitting in side outs in the middle of nowhere? That would be so dangerous. Or flammable material, or like food, stuff like that. So there's been a lot of hazmat and refrigerated cars going by today. It's actually kind of fascinating. But anyway, so I managed to get through the stream without seeing anybody's shit in chat, and I'm really, really sorry that happened. I don't know why that happened. If it were up to me, I would have just like killed the stream and tried again. But I mean, it is up to me. But I don't even know if that would work anyway. So hopefully tomorrow when I go live again, or the next day, I don't know. No guarantees, but if I do go live tomorrow, then yeah, hopefully the chat will be fixed. If you're into this kind of content, or which, yeah, my content is all over the place, but hit the like, hit the subscribe button, and yeah, check out my edited videos too. I'm so excited to be hopping out of here on Monday. Holy fuck, that's gonna be nice. And if you want to get down with the kickdown, all proceeds go to, hobo shit and drugs mostly. I'm just kidding. I don't actually spend that much money on drugs. first and foremost, we spend money on healthy, good things and helping other people. And if there's any extra, then we spend it on drugs. But anyway, usually at this point in the live stream, I would say if you have any questions for me or you want me to talk about anything else, then please leave a message in the chat, but I can't see it, so there's no point in doing that. I'm just gonna assume that that everyone's cool and nobody's in the chat calling me a fucking filthy crackhead, spanger, e-beggar. Probably somebody is, I'm sure. I hope so, actually. That would be... I would feel upset if there wasn't people in chat being classist and, like, very, very triggered by my candidness. So, yeah. Leave a hate comment. Tell me how much I suck. Because I won't see it. Also, you could leave a comment in... Ooh, that was a good one. Leave a comment below, and I'll see your comments after I get off stream. Check out the links in the description. There's our Discord server. We also have the back porch in the Discord server where everybody talks about how fucked up they are on different stuff or whatever. And it's kind of a fun back porch, chilling with your friends sort of vibe. But if you're struggling with drug use, there is also the safe room where you can go talk about shit that you want help with, you know, or you can have a little bit of both as a treat. We got you covered. You know, if you want support for your issues, it's there. And if you just want to party with people, it's also there. So no judgment, just radical acceptance and, you know, meeting you where you're at. And if you don't do drugs at all and you never have and you never will and you fucking hate them, then that's awesome too. And you can still hang out on the back porch with your LaCroix. Your LaCroix. Trying to say it like the French do. LaCroix. Anyway, yeah. Straight edge kids welcome too. We love straight edge kids. Yes, we do. Because when there's a bunch of straight edge kids hanging out, then there's more drugs for me. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. No, kind of, I'm not. For real though, like, yeah, everybody's cool, and nobody should ever judge anybody else for not using drugs or for using drugs or for their personal approach, especially if they have a well-formed philosophy and can argue it, then fuck yeah, you know, like, leave space for them to fucking explore that. It might be subversive and you might find it a little offensive, but if we don't have difficult conversations without getting emotional about them, then we're never gonna grow as a species. We're just gonna keep beating each other down and defeating our own movements and you know, radical acceptance, progress. I think you're all mighty fine and great people, and that there's nothing wrong with any of you. Whatever it is that you do or don't do, again, this looks bad, but it's legal. Legal. Okay. Well, we're at almost an hour here. Just want to say, thanks everybody for joining me, and I'm looking forward to some more talks. I really actually do enjoy the more like serious topical lectures, and yeah, leave me some feedback in the comments if you've got something that you'd like to hear me cover. Actually, the idea for this stream came from a commenter, and I forgot to look up their name before the stream. Otherwise, I would shout them out. But yeah, so I listen, and I want to bring you more content that you want to see and listen to. And unless unless you're triggered by pronouns. If you're triggered by pronouns, then you need to go and watch my queer series, my pronoun series, and go get really, really butthurt because that would be really funny to me. Okay, all right, I'm gonna fuck off now. Join me in Discord. Hit the thumbs up buttons, and I hope you all have a wonderful, healthy, and safe day. And yeah, catch you later. Bye.
Bye to that.